Hello everyone, it's Sergio again from Patio Frutal, Fruitful Yard. Today is March the 21st, first day of spring here in New England Zone 6B. And we started to see the signs of a spring, although today's the first day of spring, but that doesn't mean you're going to have flowers blooming all over the place. This is merely the beginning here in New England because this is a cold area. And well, I just wanted to show you a little flower buds here in this plum tree. Now, I'm gonna make a little observation here on this little tag. See, when you start to make your garden, a lot of times you don't realize what you're getting into. You have the idea, I'm gonna have this tree here and this one over there. But something to take into consideration here is not only the plant that you're getting, but the last letters of it. This always says, let's focus, dwarf. So that means this is gonna be a small tree. It doesn't mean that it's gonna stay small. You're gonna make it small, but it's not gonna be a vigorous growing tree. This tree here is going in, I say it's about 4 years old. When you get it, they're probably a year old. It's been on the ground for, it's gonna be 3 years now, coming on. And it's barely 5.5 feet. So, see, as I started doing, I started tying down the branches because that was a center leader. So I'm just gonna take that center leader and still bend them all down because I want it to be a low tree. Same with these branches. Once they developed a good length, you're gonna tie them down. Well, not you, I am. I'm gonna tie it down. As you can see, all these little flower buds, well, this is gonna be ready to produce fruit. So the wood is still young. This was last year growth from here up. So that's another 2 feet of growth. So all these branches are gonna be tied down. They're still soft, and it's springtime, so you do your tying down in the springtime. What do you do with a tie down? Well, let's look at another tree here. This is a persimmon. As you can tell here, this is barely 5.5, 6 feet tall. And I don't want it to grow too tall for me to reach my fruit. Because if you let it all keep growing, then you have a 30, 40 feet tall tree. And most of that fruit is gonna be for the birds. It's gonna be hard to go get it up there so high. So as you see, like I said, always when you order your plants, they give you the choices, whether you have a standard, medium, or dwarf. So you decide how big you want your trees and how much you want to be trimming. Like, look at this Japanese plum tree. It's in a standard plum, it's a Shiro. And look, all those cuttings I just did. I'll show you the forward here. So, depending on what you get when you're buying your tree, see, there's all the wood that I have to cut out. And depending on what you get when you're buying these seeds, is how much work you're gonna have to be putting into to maintain it. So, as you can tell here, where the cuts on the other side, where this had to be maintained. And this one here, as you see over here, says, let's see if you can focus, it says standard right there. So the standard means this is a regular tree, it's gonna grow quite. Look at the girth of it. It's already close to 10 to 11 inches. So if I don't keep it low, it's gonna be hard for me to get any fruit. So those are some of the things you have to think. Today is only the first day of the spring. I don't want to sound like I'm ranting over here, but and for that reason, according to what you get over there, standard trees to dwarf trees, those are decisions you will have to make. Just letting you know. That way, it doesn't happen like me. I had a lot of, I ordered some trees from nurseries that were not that reputable. And you don't know that when you order them because the pictures look so nice. But then you end up have to doing this, cutting it because they're bad rootstock. They don't produce, so they have to be removed. And I always tell my viewers here, because they ask me how long do you have to wait for fruit to produce. Well, and these trees that I ordered from a nursery that I'm not going to say the name, beautiful pictures in the magazine, but man, they're bad fruit. I mean trees, they barely produce anything. So that's why today they're already cut. So I'm seeing 2 there, 1 here, and 2 more, and over there is a replacement. So there's 5 in this road from the same company that didn't produce. The trees were bad quality, and you know, and the list goes on. But when you start, that's what you have to do. I order my trees from Stock Brothers, Willie Nursery. Let me show you the tag so you know, so you can find some focus. Stock Brothers Nursery, and let's see, this one also is Stock Brothers Nursery. Stock Brothers. So, right. So this is a semi-dwarf cherry tree that I bought as a replacement, and I got another one there that is semi-dwarf also. But another signs of a spring is these little flower buds. Let me move that tag out of my hand so you don't get. There we go. So now, when you see these round little balls there, those are flower buds for my pawpaw trees. That one's also from Stock Brothers. This is the mango pawpaw. And you can see there, beautiful little balls. And the little round ones, those are the flowers for this tree. And this tree will produce leaves, flowers first. You see a lot of blooms of flowers, and then you start seeing some leaf flower buds. So I'm going to show you in this little branch over here. That one there, flower bud. This one, little longer one, well, those are going to be the leaf. This is the first time that this one is going to produce. And how tall is this one? I have this one for about 6 years, and now it's going to produce. That's an NC1 pawpaw. So this one has been producing, the mango pawpaw has been producing for 3 years. So I had to wait 5 years because I made the mistake of sometimes you watch videos and you listen to people and they tell you, oh, it can grow, it's a good shade tree that can grow under the shades and stuff. Well, I had that tree here, too close to these trees over here, and that shaded area, and I had it for 3 years, and the plants didn't grow an inch because they didn't get enough sun hours. So if you're gonna plant your pawpaws, make sure they get at least 6 or 7 hours of sun. If you get less than that, well, that's not ideal condition for it. So I'm going to show you here this green baby. It's a Prunus native plum. This is a native plum. They're not big plums, but if they say native, that means they're going to be small. It's kind of like the strawberries you buy in the stores. They have been modified so many times genetically. They've been altered so much that you will believe that a strawberry is normally that big, when in fact is as big as my pinky nail. That's how big they are. And they grow over here in the ground naturally. So when the spring comes, I'm going to show it to you. That way you know where your fruit comes from. the way you know that the big strawberry you see in the store, they are so genetically modified that you're not getting all the organic stuff when you eat those big strawberries. So, but we're gonna keep on walking around the yard because we'll show you some more maintenance done. Also, see, I'm gonna back up a little bit. Here under the ground, that's a stump of another plum tree that used to get very sick after it had the fruits and stuff, and it started growing in the bark, big balls, ugly stuff. So, and then the fruit didn't stay long enough because it got like a mold. So that that plum tree got cut off. Then it got replaced last year by this. Let's see if we can focus. Okay, it's candy heart blueberry, and these are plum trees with a mixture of cherry, plum, and something else. And this other one here, this is the Dapple Supreme Pluot, which is another combination of different fruits, genetically, I guess, altered. But here they are, getting organic food. I'll show you what's under here. Don't think it's rat poison. That it is. It's organic waste of all the fruit that I eat, and I just put them on all my trees over here. So sometimes you have to feed your plants. See, I can show you here. It looks a little messy right now because it's winter time. Everything's covered. So this little tree over here is another pawpaw, and last year she had 2 flowers, and out of the 2 flowers, one of the flowers produced 3 pawpaws, and they were delicious. And this tree has been in the ground. It's going on its 3rd year, and it's not too tall. It's only barely 4 feet. I don't think it's 4 feet yet. So this is another prolific pawpaw. It's grafted, and that baby produced last year, so that was good news. Now we're moving on to the yard here, and we see here, although it's not Christmas and those are not Christmas tree, those are my figs. And the figs, well, if you don't cover them, they die down. From being 9 feet tall, they die down all the way to the ground. So you have to do some work and maintenance for it. And as you see, it's the first, not just only the first day of spring, but it is still cool. Today is only 52 degrees, although it's beautiful and sunny, right? But, well, I'll show you, they're gonna stay covered for over another month plus, because the danger of frost hitting them and will kill them. As I'm going to show you the top, those tops are dead. They usually die. Last year this plant only survived until like 3.5 feet. So this year, and last year had a lot of fruit for the first time. So once it starts to get warmer, I'm going to be opening the bottom over here so air can go into the bottom and come out over the top. See how the top is not enclosed completely? So that's how you keep them alive, because what you have to realize is when you have that cover like that, the sun hits it and it gets really hot in there. And what ends up happening is you're going to cook your plants. So that's part of the things that you have to do to grow figs in New England. Another thing that you can do is, that I did this past fall, is that I had another 6 plants. These are the holes right here, one there, right there. Then I have 4 more in that area there. So I had them in grow bags, And if you don't know what a grow bag is, I'm going to show you right now. This is a grow bag. What you do is, with this bag, is you fill it up with dirt. Before you fill it up with dirt, you got to make cuts where the roots of the plants are going to be coming out to feed on the surrounding soil. Okay? So when it gets cold, when fall is here, you take a spade and you cut it all around the soil. Then you pull your bag and then you put your plants away in a shed, underground storage or something like that. Something where they're gonna be protected for the winter. And you also wrap them up with burlap and cloth, like I have here, and they will survive. And then the following year, you plant them in your yard. But the thing is that with that, it's not a permanent planting like these guys over here, or these girls. So I just will bring them out. I'll probably put them in a much sunnier spot because they are bigger this year from all the growth, and I'll be getting a lot of fruits. So, all right, so let's keep on going along because I don't want this to be so long. So I'm going to show you another tree. This is a plum tree that the plums are so delicious and fragrant like no other plum. And this plum tree has been on the ground, I'm going to say about 25 years. So it is pretty mature. And I didn't even have a tag for it. At that time, I didn't know, I didn't have any idea to keep tags because I was just putting some trees in the yard to get some fruit. But you live and learn, right? So now I get these plums that smell like heaven, but I don't know the name of it. So I did some big pruning on this, and as you're going to see all the wood on the ground. And those are big sized branches. So now I have another plum tree right next to it. And this is a dwarf. And that's important for you to see a dwarf. So this is not going to grow too much. This tree suffered an accident a couple of years back when a tree fell on it. So it has some big scar to do. And that's why I'll show you the bottom of it. The bottom has some big scars from that tree falling on it. But anyway, so I'll manage it. This one is only 5.5 feet tall. So it's right next to that old plum tree. So they use cross-pollination between the two of them. Now look at more of the wood here that came from that tree. Because like as I said, while you're able to do it, manage your trees, keep them size so you can enjoy more of the fruit and not the birds or the bees, usually yellow jackets. As you see, I have a trap there that I have to clean out. As you see, it's still full of dead yellow jackets in there. And you have to protect it, and you get a lot of fruits. So, look at that. All those little peach buds, flowers coming up. So, hey there. Back. So as you can see from here, we're gonna have to keep an eye on these plants. This one is a standard one. That one is gonna grow a lot. So you have to do quite the planning so you keep it manageable. But if sometimes when you order plants, you don't have a choice what they have available for you, so you decide whether to get it or not. So that's what happens. Some of them are standard, a dwarf, and you just have to know what you're getting into. So there you go, guys, from Patio Frutal. Hope you like this first video of the year 2022. Like, share, and subscribe, and have a good evening.